Welcome back to Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. For our next story today, we are traveling to the industrial city of Kanpur, a city that has seen the rise of many traditional family businesses. One such business is that of Kanpur Plastipack, a company that is now being run by the third generation of the family and has made a formidable name for itself in industrial bulk packaging solutions. Take a look. Kanpur Plastipack was established by Mahesh Swaroop Agarwal in 1971 as he saw opportunity to manufacture raffia flat tapes and woven sacks. As it set sail, the company encountered the first of its many challenges in the mid-1970s.
The company at that time was on the verge of closure for a variety of economic reasons. The Shah of Iran had increased oil prices by almost 4 times in 1974. It made plastic products totally uneconomical at that time. Soon thereafter, we started working. A jute mill strike helped us in reviving the fortunes of the company, and the product got established. In the middle 80s, we were pioneers in exports, and over the last 5 years, I am proud to say that the company is one of the only ones left which started business in the early 70s. The only reason we've been able to do this is our consistent belief in investing in technology and human resources.
Over the years, Kanpur Plastipack went from strength to strength, transitioning to flexible intermediate bulk containers or FIBCs and bulk bags in the 1990s under the stewardship of second-generation entrepreneur and managing director Manoj Agarwal. A decade ago, he handed over the reins to Deputy Managing Director Shashank Agarwal, and Kanpur Plastipack continues its 45-year-plus legacy, carefully crafted by 3 generations. And now to tell us all about Kanpur Plastipack's incredible journey, we are joined by the company's Deputy Managing Director, Shashank Agarwal. Shashank, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
It's my pleasure.
Well, first up, Kanpur Plastipack is a company that started out in the 1970s, starting with woven sacks to moving to exports to a couple of products in this day and age. So first, take us through what is your current product range like, and what would you say have been the most significant evolution milestones in this journey?
So the 2 main products that we have is flexible intermediate bulk containers, which is also called bulk bags, and the other is polypropylene multifilament yarn that's mainly used for stitching and geotextiles.
Right.
So in the whole journey of 47 years, 48 years now, there have been 3 technological changes, and we've been the early adopters to all 3 of them. So that always gave us an edge to keep ourselves afloat.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned 2 key products. What is the revenue mix like, and what are the geographical footprints of both these products?
So FIBCs would be about 75% of the revenue, and stitching yarns would be probably 25%. Stitching yarns are mostly in India, and the 75% FIBCs goes to the developed world, America, Germany, mainly Europe and US.
Right. And what sort of goods are transported in these FIBCs?
So it can be anything from fertilizer, cement to baby milk powder, chocolate powder, agriculture products, aggregates,
right,
building materials.
So is there a lot of customization that you have to do to the product? Because I'm assuming that, baby product versus fertilizer is very, very different, right?
Yeah,
So
we are in the industry of mass customization. So there is a great degree of customization, and that leads to customer service. So we are designing each and every bag individually for each customer. So that leads to mass customization.
And what sort of manufacturing capabilities do you have? What is the production capacity of the company like?
So today we can do about 1,500 tons of FIBCs or 10 million bags per year. So that puts up us in the top 5 of the world. Thankfully, in the last 20 years, our industry leaders have done great to wipe China out of the market. So today we are about 50% of the global market share as India, and China is probably around 30-35%. But in the years to come, we see that India could go from 50 to 75% because of 2 main advantages. One is the low labor cost in India, and the second is the high-tech workforce that's available in the country.
As far as the price point competition is concerned, would you say India is more lucrative at this point in time for global markets?
So being a packaging product, quality and reliability is paramount. Pricing is number 3. So we are definitely at par with China, if not cheaper. But pricing is not so important as far as quality and reliability is concerned.
You started exports in the 1980s. From then to now, what has the growth trajectory been like? What sort of markets have you been adding? And from here on, what is the expansion that you're looking at?
So exports really took off in the early 2000s when we ventured out into FIBCs. And now currently we are at close to 45 to 50 countries. So we have penetration in almost all markets. And now it's a question of reaching out to the better markets.
This government has had a lot of focus on making India a global manufacturing hub. As far as your product segment is concerned, you're already a product that goes around the world. So tell us, what is it that needs addressing in terms of policy intervention to really make India a global manufacturing hub?
So one of the key challenges is the infrastructure quality and the reliability of the infrastructure in our country.
Right.
We are sitting in Kanpur, which is quite landlocked and away from the port. So the time that it takes in India is almost 7 to 8 times of what it takes in China.
Tell us a little bit about the technology focus that you have here at Kanpur Plastipack. How have you integrated technology in different aspects of your business, including the manufacturing workflow?
So over the last decade, we have built algorithms for pricing, we've built algorithms for planning, we've built algorithms for demand, supply and all those things. So we are moving towards digitalization, of course.
Right.
People talk about Industry 4.0 and IoT. We are pretty far from it, but the basic algorithms are in place. So whenever that deflection point comes in, we would be ready to catch the train.
And these are all in-house, inbuilt?
These are all in-house, inbuilt completely. So the IPR remains with us.
Many industries in India today are facing a labor challenge. There's shortage of skilled labor. Is there an effort that you as a manufacturer are also putting in for developing skilled labor?
Yes, so the government of India had this skill development program which was quite effective.
Correct.
So we were running a skill development society to develop skills so that the unemployed can get the right kind of job. Having said that, we are sitting in Uttar Pradesh, which is the largest population in this country. So labor is not the number one challenge, and it is a highly labor intensive business. So we are always working on labor arbitrage basically.
So Kanpur Plastipack also has a significant focus on innovation. So take us through some of the most innovative product offerings that you have, and currently is there something new that you're working on?
So in the last 30 years, I mean, we've moved from PP woven sacks to paper laminated sacks to jute bags and then to FIBCs. Within FIBCs, there have been multiple innovations and multiple product categories that got developed when the customer started demanding for newer products and better products.
Right.
At the moment, what I can speak about is that we developed a cloned fabric which actually looks like jute,
Wow.
which probably was the biggest innovation for us in the last decade. Jute look-alike, the price is constant for 12 months a year. Jute is a natural product, so it can never be expected to perform the same way every year.
Right.
In the West, there are some certain applications where only jute can be used.
Right.
And there it creates a decisive edge because the price is constant for 12 months. So we can supply all 12 months of the year.
And yours is also a company that believes in sustainability. So what is the focus on renewable energy, using renewable energy for manufacturing here, and what other steps are you taking to really minimize your carbon footprint?
Yeah, so we were one of the first companies to have the rooftop with net metering. Over the next couple of years, we plan to have our 50% of the power supply through renewable sources. So that's already part of the plan because we are in the plastics trade. So there's always attachment of carbon footprint to our business. So we are working on the energy. Also, we are a zero water discharge company. So we are always trying to be sustainable in the environment.
Great. And you also had a recent expansion in 2018 worth 100 crore rupees. What is the purpose of that expansion? What sort of opportunities are you seeing ahead?
So the 100 crore expansion was a huge expansion for the company. We had to make a story big, and because the large corporations, the Fortune 500 companies, want to only do business with the large corporations. So we're talking about $50 million plus revenues, so a strong balance sheet, only then they are entertaining a vendor. So we had to make it big. So for the next growth decade, this investment was necessary to have the best good manufacturing practices, to have the best compliances, to be safe.
Okay, great. And in the last 10 years in the company, you've taken it from 100 crore rupees to 325 crore rupees. What is the plan ahead? What sort of financial goals as well as, growth goals are you setting for the company in the next year?
So financial goals, I always believe, is a corollary to the customer service and our employee engagement that we can do. So we believe in high customer satisfaction with reliability and good quality, which would probably result us in the next 1 decade to be one of the largest FIBC players in the world.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Well, with that, it's a wrap of this episode of Incredible Journeys, Brands and Leaders. Hope you enjoyed those insights. We'll be back next time. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.